Good morning, and it is Monday morning, just before 9. We've got some cabinets here that have come back from the weekend hire job. Whole cartridges, they've been up to the NEC. The vans are already loaded today. The two big ones, I think, are off to Newport for a job for the Titanic exhibition. Rebated plinth. I'm about to glue the top onto it. It's actually a really tall 30mm rebate because the glass that we're using can only be drilled 15mm away from the edge. So because of that, we are having to make an extra large rebate, which I'm going to glue on that plinth in a second, and you can watch me do it. It is just after Monday lunchtime. We've got a few there that have been painted in a black primer. Will probably be top coated later on today. Those are actually nesting plinths, so they will fit inside each other. We're going to put some lining in this one, little foam lining, and then that one there will drop inside that one for transportation so they don't take up as much space. And Paul is doing a bit more priming at the moment, but gone on to white. It's actually doors for these three cabinets there, which he'll probably prime after he's done those ones. In the meantime, I'm going on to the CNC. I need to do a test cut for a cabinet that we've got to make later in the week, which has got a different coloured kickboard across the bottom, and I need to sort that out and work out how we're going to build that. This is the two pieces that I cut out, and I'm hoping to make like a half overlap joint, similar to that. Hopefully you can see that. Basically because this will be the side of the cabinet, and this piece here is going to be the front panel, which is going to be sprayed a different colour to the side. So I'm trying to create an overlap like that. We're doing this with Rafix connectors. These can be cut on a 3-axis CNC machine. Hit them in there. Works similar to a cam. Well, basically it is a cam. Put that fixing into this piece. If my measurements are right, then they should lock together and fit pretty much perfectly, which I'm hoping they will, and then I can carry on and draw the rest of the cabinet out. Yeah, happy with that. Looks really nice. Got a nice finish on the back. It's a fairly strong joint as well then. It's the end of day on Monday, and it's all very tidy out here. If you have a look around behind me, everything's looks almost empty, but we've done a lot of work and it's gone out the door. So we're sort of in the phase of building again now. That large plinth over there, we've got another one to make exactly the same as that. That's going to have a large glass hood on the top of it, and I'll show you a bit of how that was made in the video. We've got two glass display cabinet bases over here. Those are going to be sold. They go into an auction house with one more that we've made today, which is up there on the bench. That one just needs to be prepped. Those ones over there are already in primer. That one obviously is just MDF and we need to prime it, so there's a little bit of work to do on that one. Over here in our sort of drying area, we've got a couple of bits that have been primed, 4 pieces that have been primed, and 2 that have been top coated in black, and those are the 2 that are going to be nesting plinths, so they'll sit inside each other. We're going to do that, put some foam in the bigger one, and then you better push the small one inside the big one without it getting damaged. So that's another job for probably Wednesday. Those are going to take a couple of days to dry hard enough that we can then tip them over and not damage them. So yeah, that'll be Wednesday. It's like being back at Blue Peter, isn't it?
It is what I made earlier.
This one I made earlier, yeah. Over the last few years, we've always been trying to think of ways to using up our offcuts. This is something that's sort of developed over time, because otherwise we throw out quite big pieces of wood. We can cut them into lids for our own products or shells for our own products. As you can see, I've just used up the end of this offcut into making some bunny rabbits. Dale's still on the same door. Well, he hasn't shown us one that he's done earlier, has he? So it must be the same door. There's a pile, is there? Aha! I found the pile. There they go. Start black, finish pink. Just got the cabinets after this lot. Yeah, here's my new heated jacket, just arrived. Waiting for a battery pack from Spencer. Gonna try it. If I kill myself by getting electrocuted, you'll be the first one to know. Little socket here for the USB. Unfortunately, it's 16 degrees in the workshop today, which is quite warm in comparison to how it has been, but we'll give it a go. Here goes, got my battery pack, plugging it in, just goes in USB and in the pocket. Zip that in, zip myself up, and I've got buttons here, which I assume I just hold. Oh, that one's on. Now the front's on, gone red. Let's see how they feel. Well, you can actually feel the cables if you put your hands on the outside. No, they're warming up. Yeah, it's red. Be interesting to see how it feels after half an hour, won't it? I wonder if it'll last all day on the charge.
We've got a whole lot front and back.
Yeah. Don't know if there's different power modes. Oh yeah, there is. That's on full power. Don't need it today though, do we? It's quite warm today. Well, it's going to rain for the rest of the week. I thought it was going to rain. Wednesday's this motorbike day really, to avoid the traffic, but when I looked at the forecast it suggested rain might happen.
Having loaded the program into the CNC machine, I'm now ready to cut the curved sided plinth.
Speeded up, that took 12 minutes and 38 seconds to cut out. So we'll see what it looks like. If I turn you around you can have a look. That's the grooves over there, and that should allow it to become flexible in this middle section. So we can put a bit of bend into it. Whether it's tight enough, I don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see. If it doesn't work, then I'll bring these lines closer together and cut it again.
I start off by putting it together as a dry run without any glue, just to make sure it all fits, and then go back with the glue later.
Tuesday is done and we've had a productive day. Loads going on in the workshop, so I'm going to take you out there and show you what's happening. Dale is finishing off the last of the doors to be wrapped. All the wraps are now printed over on the printer, so we can start applying those tomorrow. This is a two-part process with this job, because we also have a gold reflective design that's going around the bottom of the cabinet, but that is the last of the full wraps to be printed. Spencer has been working on this Tron bike that we make. This is something that I did over lockdown. We sell a few of them here and there. Quite a few have gone abroad into America, because obviously Zwift, if you don't know about it, is a cycling app, and they have this bike that's called the Tron bike. This is pretty much my artistic impression of it, and with the LEDs go around and light it up. And this comes with a remote control, so you can change the colours and change the speed and do all sorts of things with it. This is a new style of lighting that we've put around this one, which is controlled on each individual strip, so you can actually do these weird effects with it, which is really nice, as well as have it a standard colour, so yellow, blue, pink, red, green or blue. You have a number of different effects which look really cool. Out here in the main workshop we've been having a busy day as well. So those are waiting for top coat. They've all been primed and rubbed down again and are getting ready for top coating. There's 3 50cm cabinet bases here. Again, those are all been primed and they're just waiting for it to be top coated. That'll be done tomorrow. We've got this supersized plinth here, which is having the glass case sitting on the top. That has been primed and is waiting to be rubbed down. That'll be done tomorrow. And here is the front of one of the curved plinths that we're making at the moment. It's going to be a 5-part display, this one. So there's 2 of these, which will go on either end, and then 3 cabinets that go in the middle. This one's come out really well. Pleased with how that's gone so far. Still have to make the bottom piece to go under there, which we'll have a tackle out tomorrow probably. So yeah, that piece under there needs to be made. Again, that's going to have a curve on it. Done that separately because it's going to be sprayed black. And it's easier to make that piece separate and spray it black than it is to try and mask it up and spray it with the whole item, or with the whole plinth. So that's the end of Tuesday. Let's see what tomorrow brings. We've got a few jobs still to finish off and a few new jobs to start. We've got a really big plinth to make actually tomorrow, which is 2.3 meters by 1.5 meters by 100 mil high for a client that we've worked for before. They're a gallery and they put furniture on them. So you'll see probably the whole process of creating that plinth tomorrow. Wednesday morning, I'm back out in the workshop cutting on the CNC this morning. Another job today is to empty the extractor. As you can see, it's getting full up. Oh, it's almost there, probably. Yeah, it's almost there. So we need to empty those out and get rid of those and put some new bags in today. Bit of a mucky job, so it's definitely time to put a breathing mask on and empty this out. It's decided to do its timed clean when I pulled out the bags. So now it's dumped it all over the floor. As can be seen there. Inside's a brush that basically brushes the filters, and it's brushed the filters when there's nothing underneath it, and it's all fallen on the floor. Although our Felder CNC machine will cut 3 meter by 1.5 meter boards, we don't normally keep a spoil board on there that is that big. So I'm going to have to put an extra piece of sheet on down in this area here to cover this part, so we can actually then cut the 3 meter by 1.5 meter sheet. So that's the next step. There's vacuum ports here that I need to open up, which are normally covered up, and then I'm going to have to put a rubber strip around this edge so that it actually creates a vacuum around the board that we're putting on. Once we've done all that, we can then put our 3 meter board on. Well, actually I've got to trim it down so it's the same height as the rest of the spoil board. Once we've done that, then we can trim it down and put the board on that we require. One extra large top is cut out, just mitered exactly the same as we normally do. It's 3:15 and I'm just waiting for things to dry. Once they're dry, then I can get this plinth ready for priming. It's a huge plinth, as you can see. Let's have a look. Really big. Probably one of the biggest ones we've made actually in one piece. We've made one of these before for the same customer. They've come back for a second one. I think they put like sofas on them, that sort of thing. So yeah, big. It's going to weigh a little bit, but it's only made out of 12mm MDF. We put a couple of support bars through the middle, which will allow people to stand on this without it breaking, which is important. Although they say they're not going to put anything too heavy on there, I'm always worried that someone's going to stand on it. So as a matter of course, we put a couple of support bars in. Spencer and Dale have been wrapping these pink cabinets, or black cabinets, into pink. Done 4 there. The doors are all done over there, so they can start going back together. And there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to do. This one's waiting here on the rack, on this table. Prepared, ready to wrap up tomorrow. Out in the workshop, we've got a few things that have been primed. Spin the camera around so you can see them. These huge plinths here. Everything seems to be big this week. These ones have got glass cabinets going on the top. So they're in primer waiting to be top coated. We've got one over here, which we put the rebate on today. And that one is going to be sanded and primed tomorrow. And then we've got the 2 round ones that we've completed. Need to make the bottom piece tomorrow, but they are glued up. Just need tidying up now before they go in for primer as well. In the spray booth is a very big flat plinth. That's been made completely today and is in primer. So we can let that dry overnight, sand it down tomorrow, make sure it all looks good before we top coat it. Then over here we have 3 50cm cabinet bases, which have all been top coated and are ready now to go into the assembly room tomorrow to have their glass cabinets put on the top, doors put in, electrics put in, lights put in. So that's another job for tomorrow. It is Thursday morning, and first job today is to correct a mistake that I made earlier in the week. So I need to crack on and do that first. Unfortunately, we made the sword cabinets and I forgot to cut the hinge in. So I need to cut the hinge in and then we're probably going to have to respray them. So that's the first job. Let's crack on with it. I've just realised I'm old and I can't see without my glasses, so I need to go and find them before I can do any more. Last night I had an inquiry from a previous customer that we haven't dealt with for about 6 or 7 years. He is looking for us to build a reception desk for his property business. So I'm having a look on the computer at the moment, coming up with some designs, which I'll do in Google SketchUp, and then I'm going to send those off for the customer to approve. Been upstairs and done all the drawings for the reception desk, and I'm just going down to the CNC machine to start cutting things out. We'll load up an 18mm board and then see how this goes. Hopefully I've done the drawings correctly. Had a look at trying to line everything up here, and I've noticed one error in my program, which is this hole here is in the wrong place. It should have been 100mm from that edge and it's 114 or 115. Reason for that is I put it as in a coordinate from this corner and I put it as a Y instead of an X, and that's the only reason. So I've adjusted that. Gonna have to recut this panel to make it right, and then we should be ready to start assembling. We've got the reception top there already cut out, and over here I'm just about to cut out the main desktop. So that's going to be the next stage, cutting out the main desktop, and then we're good to assemble. I might put some clips in, make sure it all fits before we start to spray it tomorrow. go, that's the reception desk put together. We'll now need to have the edges all treated and then primed and top coated. And then we're good. Just finishing up for Thursday. There's been a lot of spraying going on today. I'll show you over here. Spin you around. That one very big plinth is now finished. Really nice finish on it. That's waiting for the customer to come and collect on Monday. So we finished that ahead of schedule. That'll have a couple of days now to harden off and dry properly. We've got these two over here, which again have been top coated. They're looking really nice. And these two, which are going to Lee University Technical College, they're going to have glass display cabinets on the top, and those are all finished in top coat as well. So productive day in the spray booth, definitely. Lots of prepping done and lots of finishing. In the assembly room, there's been a few more bits going on in there. Let's have a look. Spin you around, then you can see what's been happening in the assembly room. We have two 40cm basically tabletop cabinets that are ready there. They're off for a job in the next week or so. Then we've been building up new cabinets here for a client who's purchased 3 50s. Those 50 cabinets are out in the workshop waiting to be, actually they're finished, so they're just waiting to be finally assembled. And these 3 here are ready to go on the tops of them. So yeah, generally a really productive day. Those 3 there are all finished, ready to be dispatched next week. All vinyl or all wrapped up in their bubble wrap and cardboard corners. And the sword cabinet that you saw last week is again waiting to be collected tomorrow. So that's all wrapped up, ready to be taken away by a delivery company.
It's time to tidy my desk today. It's looking a bit of a mess. And we're going to put a divider down through the middle, straight down through there.
First job on Friday was to route all the edges for the reception desk. We then move on to painting all the edges by hand, and then finally we sand them down to create a nice smooth edge ready for priming in the spray booth. The next job for Friday was to start work on some bike plinths that had come in overnight.
There's a bike plinth all cut up, ready to be glued. So you cut the whole thing in one piece, and then we're just going to fold it up now. All the miters will line up perfectly because it's just one sheet. The printer is finishing off the last parts of the pink cabinets. This is just printing the glass base. This is printed onto a clear vinyl and then back to the white vinyl. So we can stick it onto the glass and we'll have a pink glass. Day always busy again. Putting vinyl on the bottom of glass. White one side and pink on that side. Here's one we did earlier. Just got to have the lights put in and that one's completed. It's the end of the week. Friday has arrived. Been a really productive day, so I'm going to show you what we've been up to today. First up, we have these curved plinths here with some cupboards that go along. There's actually going to be 3 in the finished design. The third one's over there. But I'll just put these together so you can see what's happening. Going to have doors on the front of these, and they're all going to bolt together. I've still got to do the base units, which are going to be black. And I've still got to do that curved base unit there, which is a bit more complicated, so I'm going to leave that till Monday. Another thing we've done is created an awful lot of offcuts this week. I'm going to have to start doing something with those because there's huge amounts, so I'm going to end up throwing it away. So probably cut them into bunny rabbits or some small plinths or something next week, just to use them up and get them out of the way. There's a lot of small bits that we can't really use for anything else. Let's head into the spray booth. Let's see what's been happening in here today. Turn you around. So we've got, that is the top of the desk part of the reception desk that we were looking at making. That's all in primer. You can see how the edges have now finished after we've done all the prep work. Still got to have another coat, so you can actually see the difference. That's the raw edge of MDF that has not been treated, and this has been treated, and as you can see it's a much better finish. Pretty smooth. We're going to rub that down and give it another 2 coats of top coat, and it will be beautiful by then. Over here we've got the 2 sides, mirrored sides. Again, they're in primer, both sides, ready to be top coated next week. And if we go out through this door, we've got the top piece of the reception desk. Again, that edge is all nicely finished, having been sanded and primed and painted. So again, we'll rub that down again next week, and it'll then go in for top coating. And the last bit of the reception desk is over here, which is basically the front, I suppose. And again, you can see the MDF, how it finishes if you don't do anything to the edges. It's all fluffy. So yeah, and that's been painted top and bottom. So again, we'll be rubbing that down on Monday and getting some top coat on it. Then hopefully I'll be able to show you the completed thing in next week's video. Over here are the sword cabinets that I mucked up earlier in the week. They are now ready to have all their parts put back into them. So yeah, those 2 are all ready, finished and ready to go. Heading into the assembly room, we have an awful lot of pink plinths now. Looks like the pink panther's been in here. That one's completed. Pink doors. Well, I say it's completed. Actually, there's still a little bit more to do. We've got some gold reflective vinyl to go right around it on the base, and then another gold logo to go on the front. Everything is wrapped as far as the plinths go now. All the doors are done, so that one's just got to have some doors, and it's just then a matter of doing all the glass bases, putting those on and putting the lights back in. So eventually it'll look like that one. Over here we have 3 50cm cabinets which are being wired up. These ones have been purchased by an auction house, and they are going to be fitted with these USB batteries. This is something I did this morning. Drew up this little battery box using Google SketchUp, 3D printed it, and then that sits in the back of the cabinet with the battery. So it's just basically a battery holder. So it's nice in there. The electrics Spencer's been working on, and he's got it all ready to be wired up on Monday. So yeah, that one's all done. Glass cabinets for those are over here, as are the doors. So that's the 3 doors that are going on them. And there's the 3 cabinets behind, 1, 2, and the 3rd one over there. All in all, it's been a very productive week. I think we've got loads achieved. We've got loads to keep us busy next week as well. The orders are flowing in, which is great. What else is there? Oh, we've got a cabinet from Ipswich Town Football Club, which we're going to do with a turntable in it. It's going to turn their Champions League Cup, I think. So another project. Don't know whether we'll start on that next week, but definitely probably the week after. But that'll be an interesting one for everyone to look and see how we're going to do that. Put in this turntable that's going to rotate, lights in it. Pretty much, it's not actually a standard size cabinet. It's going to be oversized, so it's about 60 centimeters square, I think. Maybe slightly even taller than 60 centimeters. I can't remember. I've got all the plans upstairs. I've drawn it. I may well just give you a little heads up as to what that's going to look like, because I can show you the Google SketchUp that I sent to Ipswich Town. And yeah, that's it. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Please like and subscribe. Please leave comments if there's anything you want to know, and we will do our best to answer those. Bye for now.